Have you ever given someone advice? Maybe it was practical, maybe it was well-intentioned, and watched them completely ignore it. Not just ignore it casually, but act like you never even said anything. Or worse, they do the opposite of what you suggested, even when it's clearly better for them. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common frustrations in human relationships. But here's the kicker. Ignoring good advice isn't about stubbornness, rudeness, or intelligence. It's about psychology. And once you understand it, you'll see why people resist advice and how to communicate so it actually sticks. Before we go further, if you want more science-backed insights into human behavior and the mind, make sure to subscribe to Mindcast EDU. It helps the channel grow, and it helps you learn how to influence and understand people without manipulation. So why do people ignore advice, even when it's clearly beneficial? One of the biggest reasons is something psychologists call reactance. Reactance is the brain's way of defending freedom. Humans are wired to resist control. Anytime we feel pressured to do something, even if it's for our own good, our brain pushes back almost instinctively. It's the part of the mind that screams, "No, don't tell me what to do." Think about it. When someone says, "You should do this," or "If I were you, I would," the brain hears, "Your freedom is threatened." And that threat triggers a defense mechanism. Suddenly, even if the advice is smart, helpful, or life-changing, the natural reaction is resistance. That's why telling someone what to do often backfires. Your brain can't separate the advice from the implied command. Another key factor is ego protection. Accepting advice is often interpreted by the mind as admitting a lack of knowledge, skill, or judgment. Nobody likes feeling incompetent. The ego wants to feel capable, in control, and respected. So even when someone offers advice with the best intentions, the listener's ego sometimes interprets it as criticism or a threat. And instead of saying, "Thanks, that's useful," the brain responds with, "I don't need this, I'm fine," or even, "I'll do the opposite just to assert myself." It's not personal, it's protective. Your brain is literally wired to defend your sense of self, and ignoring advice is one of the easiest ways to do that. There's also confirmation bias at play. People naturally seek information that supports what they already believe and dismiss anything that contradicts their pre-existing worldview. So even when advice is objectively helpful, the brain filters it through personal beliefs. If it doesn't match what they think, the advice doesn't just go unheard, it's actively discounted. That's why arguments, lectures, and rational explanations often fail to change minds. And then there's timing. Advice is rarely neutral in terms of readiness. The brain needs to be in the right state to receive guidance. If someone isn't emotionally prepared, if they're stressed, defensive, or distracted, advice simply bounces off. Even the best advice given at the wrong time can be ignored entirely. Now here's the interesting part. Knowing all this doesn't just explain human behavior, it gives you a powerful tool to actually influence and connect. The first key is framing advice as a choice rather than a command. Instead of saying, "You need to do this," you could say, "Here's something that worked for me, maybe it'll help you too." Or, "You could try this if you want, it's one option." Giving someone the perception of freedom dramatically reduces reactance. The brain no longer feels threatened, it feels empowered to decide. Second, focus on shared goals. People are more receptive when advice aligns with something they already care about. Instead of highlighting what they're doing wrong, frame your guidance as a way to help them achieve what they already want. "I know you want to get better at this. One thing that helped me was..." Suddenly, the advice feels cooperative, not critical. Third, build trust first. Advice is ignored when it comes from a source the brain doesn't trust. Authority, credibility, and empathy matter. People are more likely to follow suggestions from someone who demonstrates understanding, competence, and respect. This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. Our brains are wired to listen to voices that seem safe and knowledgeable. Fourth, normalize trial and error. Present advice as an experiment rather than a verdict. You might try this and see what happens. This removes the ego threat because it's not about being wrong, it's about testing. The brain relaxes because there's no pressure to succeed or fail. It's just curiosity. And finally, patience matters. The brain rarely changes in a single interaction. Even if advice is excellent, it may take time for someone to process, adapt, and accept. Forcing it too quickly triggers reactance. A slow, respectful approach works much better. The big takeaway here is that ignoring advice isn't stubbornness, it's survival wiring, ego protection, and cognitive filtering. Once you see it that way, your approach changes. You stop getting frustrated and you start communicating in ways that actually work. Influence isn't about pressure. Influence is about connection. Influence is about timing, framing, trust, and empathy. Influence is about giving people the freedom to choose. If you've ever struggled with being ignored, or if you want to improve your influence with friends, colleagues, or loved ones, understanding this psychology changes everything. You can give advice without triggering defense mechanisms. You can help without being rejected. You can communicate in a way that's actually heard. If this video helped you understand the hidden science of human behavior, make sure to subscribe to Mindcast EDU. It helps the channel grow, and it helps you learn how to influence and understand people without manipulation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.